Listen up, parts to the flower. You will be dissecting a flower. You need to know the different parts. The green leaf on the bottom of the flower, those leaf-like structures, they protect the developing flower and are called sepals. The petals are what make up the flower itself. These colorful leaf-like structures are what attract bees and insects. So flowers have male reproductive and female reproductive parts. The male reproductive part is called the stamen. It is made up of the filament and the anther. Filament is stem-like and it holds up the anther. The anther are the knobs at the end of this stalk where pollen is produced. So if we take a look here, this is the anther. You can see the pollen grains on it and it is being held up by the filament. The pistil is the female reproductive part. It is found in the center of the flower. The tip of it is the stigma. That's a sticky tip where pollen is deposited. The style is a slender tube and it connects the stigma to a hollow structure at the base of the flower. The base of the flower is the ovary. Okay, and that is where the eggs are waiting to be fertilized. So it contains the eggs waiting to be fertilized. So here we've got the pistil made up of the stigma and the style, the ovary, which is at the bottom. Flowers can be either perfect flowers, which means they have both a pistil and a stamen. That means that they can self-pollinate. Imperfect flowers have either a pistil or a stamen, but they cannot have both, in which case they would rely on pollination. Speaking of pollination, during pollination, pollen, which contains the sperm cells, falls on the stigma. Then a pollen tube is produced and that allows the sperm cells to move down to the ovary and join the egg. Once the egg and sperm cell join, we say that fertilization has occurred, at which point the ovule develops into a seed and the ovary develops into fruit that encloses the seed. It's this fruit that helps in seed dispersal, right? So whether it's an apple surrounding apple seeds or raspberry surrounding raspberry seeds, the fruit is there to make animals want to eat it, and then when they go to the bathroom, they drop the seed in a new location. So here we've got our pollination, our bees and butterflies traveling from flower to flower and transporting pollen from one flower to the next. Also attached to this flower might be a stem. Stems can be described as soft and flexible stems, or herbaceous is the word. Okay, grass has an herbaceous stem, corn has an herbaceous stem. A woody stem might be hard or stiff stems like trees and shrubs. Wood is actually made up of old water-carrying cells. Xylem, which again is a type of vascular tissue. We've been talking about this for a while. Bark is the oldest growth of the wood of the tree, and cambium produces new xylem and phloem. Okay. The function of stems is support and also to hold up the leaves so they are exposed to the sun. In addition, they carry substances between the plant's roots and the leaves. And they store glucose, right? Glucose is a sugar that the plant uses for energy for carrying out its life functions. Here's some examples of stems, right? This would be your woody stem. This would be your herbaceous stem. Roots, right? Flowers have roots, plants have roots. There is the root cap, which is what is pushing through the soil, root hairs, which increase surface area exposed to soil, and the epidermis, which is offering protection. Now, the function of a root, of course, is to support and anchor the plant and absorb water and nutrients from the soil. It also stores glucose in the form of starch. If you've ever eaten carrots or potatoes or rutabaga, those are all root-type vegetables that have a lot of glucose in them. They are very starchy. Okay. Roots come in two types. They are taproots or fibrous roots.